No, I'm not doing one. No, go away. I'm not doing a Christmas episode. I've had enough of this season as it is already. Just go. Ooh, I have returned from the grave to bring you 3 spirit that will encourage the Christmas spirit in you. Look, if I just do the review, will you go away? Woo! Why not? I want to get to the Christmas afterlife party anyway. Right, okay. So, I guess for the Christmas episode, I'll do Hogfather. For those not in the know, Hogfather was a Sky One production, a 4-hour miniseries, adapted from Terry Pratchett's book Hogfather. The story takes place on the Discworld, Terry Pratchett's mainstay, where they have their winter solar festival, Hogswatch, which is very similar to our Christmas, with its residing patron anthropomorphic personification, the Hogfather, an analogy to Santa Claus or Father Christmas. The trouble starts when the auditors, beings of pure logic, who wish to eliminate anything illogical from the universe, such as human belief, fairy tales, Hogfather, Santa Claus, they recruit the Assassin's Guild to kill off the Hogfather, thereby symbolically killing a source of imagination for the human race. This is assigned to the psychopathic but brilliant Mr. Te-Ha-Ta-Mei. Of course, there is only one way round it, once the Hogfather's been killed off, which is to employ a being who, like the Hogfather, can go around the world in a single night, knows where everyone lives, and is able to basically do everything the Hogfather can. Of course, this narrows down who's able to do the job quite well to the Discworld's Grim Reaper, Death. Whilst the death of Discworld is off trying to fulfill the Hogfather's job, making sure there's enough human belief in him to survive the morning, he lands it on his put-upon granddaughter Susan Death, or Susan Stow-Hewlett as she's known in the human world, to go and stop the assassin's plan from fruition. I won't spoil how most of it goes. Basically, needless to say, it's a fun ride. The main task of it is seeing Death, a character who's not unlikable, in fact rather eccentric, actually for once getting to do a job that people will thank him for, and for seeing people that are happy to see him do this job. He's actually painted as quite miserable because even though there has to be a death, no one appreciates him for it. It's a dirty job that someone has to do. And him just basically learning about humanity and the meanings of Hogswatch/Christmas.
I know what the spirit of Hogswatch is, Albert.
You're not allowed to do that.
The Hogfather can. The Hogfather gives presents. There's no better present than a future.
The other main thread is, of course, his granddaughter Susan, who has to go on a rather different mission to stop the assassin. Her thing is she wants to be completely human, but she can't because Death is her granddaughter. She's partially, inside she's partially an anthropomorphic personification and can't truly live in the human world, no matter how hard she tries. And a lot of this is getting her to come out of that and to accept her differences, to accept who she is for what she is, which is quite fun. She's an interesting character because she's quite buttoned down and serious, and she doesn't want to enjoy herself. She doesn't want to be imaginative. She wants to be a harsh school mistress. And it works in the circumstances, playing her off against the very innocent, childlike, well, seemingly innocent assassin Teilhard Armee. Which gives her a good contradiction. Now, there's a lot to recommend it to this series. The visuals are brilliant, the characters are well rounded and lifted straight from the book, and any Discworld fan would have a treat with all the Easter eggs put in. The trouble comes with what's pretty much standard for any adaptation of a book. Literature never travels to the screen well. They either gut the text to squash it down into the film format, or else they don't change it enough. Now, I know a lot of book fans will probably say this is sacrilege and you shouldn't change the source material, but movies and television are a different medium that require different storytelling tools. As such, for a book story to work, you will often have to condense points, or just morph it to fit the format. A good point with the Hogfather is it has multiple ending points. I say this, everyone knows how it goes. You build up interest to a big climax, and that's it, that's the end. The Hogfather has several climaxes that come one after the other. And it does get tiresome, and you just feel like, this should have ended by now, this should have been all tied up. I mean, it's basically all the story plot points get their own climax, which is fine in a book, but for the screen, they should have been tied up altogether. My personal thing is, the final confrontation between Susan and the auditors should have been tied up with the final confrontation between Susan Death and Teilhard Armee. And it could have been easily done with, spoiler alert, by moving Teilhard Armee forward into the final pursuit of the Hogfather in his hog form. This would have, essentially, killed two birds with one stone and given a good resolution at the dramatic peak. As it is, they decided not to do that, and I can understand that to have legions of Discworld fans howling at the change, but it doesn't work well on film, I have to say. Apart from that, it is a beautiful story that, as well as having wonderful, vibrant characters, actually has a lot of deep philosophical meanings about being human. And it has my favourite scene about what it means to be human, which I'll play at the end of this. So overall, did I enjoy it? Hell yeah. It is good enough to sit down and watch every Christmas for me. It's become a little tradition. And despite the flaws of it not transferring perfectly to film, it is a fantastic story that has Christmas magic in it. So, I have to say, this holiday season, please, get a copy of Terry Pratchett's The Hogfather.